What's up YouTube? Honeybee here, bringing you a new Mortal Kombat video. This is going to be a Reptile character and combo guide. I'm going to be talking about things to know when you're wanting to play Reptile, some of the best moves that you should be using, and different options you have when it comes to doing some combos. And I'll show you a couple different Kameo fighters that you can use. So with that said, let's get into it. Let's talk about some of Reptile's moves. He has this back three. His back three is probably one of his best tools. I will say it's a low, it's 16 frames, and it is hit confirmable into full combos. So for example, you can do something like back 3-1. That's the move that you're going to want to be using. Back 3-1, you do a force ball, and then you can get another force ball, and then you can get a combo for 32%. Now you might be saying, oh man, I don't know what you're doing here. Bear with me. So we have the back three, right? We have also forward three, which is a high, 14 frames, and it has some pretty good range, advancing high right there. You can hit confirm with the 4-3-1. 4-3-1 into force balls. Generally, Reptile combos are always going to be something into force ball, and then you can extend it in a few different ways. He also has a 4-3-2. That's a pretty good combo ender. If you do this on block, it is punishable though, so I would not advise to do that. Stand 3 is quite good. It's a really great ranged tail whip attack. It is -7 if they block it, meaning it is safe. And if you use this from range, there's really not much that anyone's going to be able to do about that. On hit, you're getting a nice little 10%. So use that in neutral when you're trying to space out your opponents. It can be pretty good for that. You also have 4-2, which is his mid. It's a 12 frame mid. 4-2-1 can be used to hit confirm into the force balls, which can also be quite useful. You have stand 1. 1-1 is 0 on block, so that's pretty good. If you complete the string, it's -7, which is safe, so that can be pretty useful as well. But those are the main stuff. So he has the back three, that's what you're going to be wanting to use a lot. The forward three with the 4-3-1 confirmation. Back 3-1 as well, and then you have your mid with your 4-2. You have 1-1 as well. Another option, you do have this overhead, which is back 2. If you charge it, you can actually launch, but it's very, very slow. 46 starter frames. It is safe though if they do block that. If they block this, -3, but it's 46 starter frames. So it's very slow. You can actually semi-charge it as well, and if you do it like that, then it's this is also safe. -7. So he has 3 versions. Something like that. So those are the main stuff. He does have that overhead. He has this low. He has a 4-2 mid. He has a 1-1 that you can hit confirm. You can use it on block as well, which is 0. And you have your advancing high 4-3-1 that has pretty good range on it that you can use to hit confirm into combos. Those are the main stuff that you're going to want to be using with that. When it comes to special moves, he has the spit. I haven't found it to be that useful, to be honest, but if you amplify it, it is a mid that has pretty good range. He has the force balls. He has 3 different versions of it. He has a close one, a medium one, and he has a far one. They are mids, which are pretty good. You can easily hit confirm them if you do hit someone with it to get full combos. So that's pretty good. He has his slide, does 9%, and it can low profile under some high projectiles. If you amplify it, then that is his armored attack as well. He has this reptile dash. Haven't found it to be super useful, but if you amplify it, you can side switch with your opponent, and you can use this to get out of a corner situation. There's a gap in this though, so they could armor through it. And he also has invisibility, where he does this, and then after a little bit of time he goes invisible, and then you can do some invisible mix-ups if you want. You can amplify this as well, but I don't know if there's a reason for it. I haven't figured it out. So if anyone knows, let me know what the reason for amplifying it is, because honestly, I don't think there is one. He also has this attack, which is this falling attack. It's an overhead. He has a close version of it. You can only do this in the air. And he has a regular version, but you can't hit anyone from full screen with it. It doesn't really go that far. It goes about half screen. It's a good combo ender to use at the end of airborne attacks. So you can do something like this, 2, 3, 3 in the air into that drop to get a pretty good damage. Generally, if you want the most damage without using any cameos, you're generally going to be using that as a combo ender. He has this forward 2, 3, which you can then special cancel into the slide. You can special cancel this into spit. You can special cancel this into invisibility as well. But for some reason, you can't special cancel it into the force balls, and you can't special cancel it into the dash. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but that's the way the game is now. This is the day 1 patch, has been in effect, so I don't know if they're going to be patching anything soon, but yeah, that's what he has. I will also say that when it comes to opponents jumping, one of his better anti-air buttons, I'll actually just have a recording over here. One of his better anti-air buttons is using his stand 4. His stand 4, you can do this into a projectile, acid ball, and call it acid ball. What's the actual move? Force ball. Yeah, you can do that into a force ball and get a pretty decent damage off of it. 28% for an anti-air. You can probably do more, but that's an option. His down 2 is also a very good anti-air. Very consistent. He turns into a monster. Turns into a monster, and then he can do that. So pretty solid, like good option, I would say, is to anti-air with that. Either stand 4 if you're trying to get some good damage and you can space it well, or just down 2 them if people keep jumping at you and you don't know what to do. Down 2 is definitely a good option there. So that's Reptile when it comes to basically the strings that you're using, the ones you want to be using in neutral, right? Back 3s, forward 3s, stand 3s. Those are some of your best ranged buttons out there. And then, you know, hit confirming with 4-2-1 and with your quick mid. Hit confirming with the back 3-1 as well. The force balls. Now, one thing to note is when you're doing force ball combos, you can't do 2 of the same force ball in the same combo. So if I do a regular force ball and another one, he's going to be sent back. So I'm going to have to do like a regular force ball and then a far force ball, and then they can bounce back. You could do another force ball if you do an amplified force ball. Then you can extend it again, something like that. But you don't really have to. Reptile doesn't really need meter in order to do combos, so I wouldn't really recommend using it unless, you know, you're gonna kill them or something with it, because it's not really necessary. He's very good at just doing a lot of meterless damage. That's 32%, and do this, but then that's a 29%, so you're not getting as much damage for it. You could also end a combo with like maybe the Reptile dash if you want to get some pressure on them. And then you go on the ground and you run into them, and then you can try to continue some pressure. He does have his back throw. Not the greatest when it comes to calling in ambushes to try to extend combos. That is a possibility for a lot of characters, and technically Reptile has a couple options, but nothing too good. I was experimenting with some stuff, and he's not the greatest at extending combos off of his throw. So those are essentially the stuff you want to look for with Reptile. For beginners, Sareena as a Kameo, very good option. She has this back Kameo button, and she throws these things. Very good to just get random hits. People get hit by it a lot, especially at this stage in the game. You can just kind of throw it out there. If you hit someone, then you can just go into your standard B&B, which is going to be something like this, which is not bad, not bad. if you hit someone, you could also go into it, and you could extend it more than one time. And then this will give you some pretty solid damage. No meter, but your whole Kameo is used for about 41%. So if you want to use Sareena, that's a pretty decent option. She does have other moves, like this drains meter. If I put the opponent's meter, so you look at his bar, it's draining down there. If they stand in it, they lose a full bar of meter about. So it's going to be great in situations where they have 3 bars, you want to get them off of that so they don't have access to break. That's generally how you'd want to use it. She also has this projectile that you can throw. It recovers really quickly, so that's not too bad. And she also has this little kick that you can use in pressure situations. It's safe on block. So that's Sareena. If we go to the player 2, I have Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero seems to be a very good Kameo for Reptile, I think. He has a couple options for things. So he has this shoulder attack that he can come in with. It's a mid. It's safe on block, I think. I think it's safe on block, yeah. So you can do this in some strings if you want. He also has this freeze, which you can use to extend combos and stuff like that. And he also has, if you press the Kameo thing, he has this ice armor, which will prevent you from getting hit by any projectiles. Now this is really good for Reptile because you can do this, and you do have a mid projectile. So you can kind of just go crazy with projectiles and have the safety of not having to worry about them throwing projectiles back at you. Now if they have some other kind of attack that's like an armored shadow kick or whatever, then yeah, they could get through it, but that's part of the game. You'd have to block it and then you can punish them. So that's a pretty good option for Reptile. He is a pretty decent zoner when it comes to just throwing out force balls and stuff like that, because, you know, you can get easy hits for about 20% if you confirm them. And they are mids, so it's going to be a pretty strong tactic if you're doing something like this. So with Reptile and Sub-Zero, you could use this ice mid combo to try to set up your invisibility and get some invisible going. Something along those lines. So that's kind of what you could do if you're using those Kameos. And let me show you this other Kameo that I've been using, some Scorpion. So with Scorpion, what's kind of nice is he has this retreating. He has this retreating spear, which can be good just for wake up situations. It has armor on it, so as a wake up attack, you can use this to just get away from your opponent. Now I'm out, right? So that can be pretty good, and you know, as I was saying before, Reptile does have some pretty decent zoning options, so to get away from your opponent can always be useful. He also has this overhead that he can use. That is unsafe on block, but if you hit them, you do get a full combo. So what's nice for Reptile with Scorpion is with this ambush attack here, you can use this to extend a lot of Reptile's attacks that maybe he wouldn't be able to otherwise. For example, something like that for 32%, where normally you wouldn't get anything from this. Now you could generally hit confirm anyways, right? Something like this, but it's giving you another option. If you do want to hit them with that. And it looks pretty cool. You can also use this in his regular B&B combo to get some pretty good damage. For 38%. That's still not using any bar. That was just one Kameo usage for 38%. Now another good thing that he has is this string. He has this string called it's either 2-4 or 4-2-4. It does the same thing. It's -10 on block, but if you hit someone with it, you can actually get a full combo using this Scorpion ambush. Normally, you can't special cancel it, you can't do anything with it, but if you do it with the Scorpion ambush here, you're going to get 31% on hit. With a mix, for example, let's say we have our opponent blocking high, right? You know? They're blocking high, now you're going to get 27%. But, what if they block low, right? If they block low, technically, this is going to be punishable, right? That's -10 on block. You could try to space it out so that you're unlikely to be punished in those situations. But with Scorpion as a Kameo, let's say he's blocking that, you can go for the overhead. Do something like that for 26%. Now that is a punishable, you know, mix, but it is still an overhead and low option that you could use with Reptile to work either way. So I find that these can be some pretty good options when it comes to using Reptile. Generally, when it comes to just combos, a lot of the times you're just gonna kind of want to have like a, it seems pretty standard. Like he's kind of just doing something in the force ball, stand for another far force ball, and then that into like a drop. You're getting 32%, or you're gonna be doing something like this, the force ball, and you're gonna go with this thing and then do a slide for like 29%. Those are generally the simple stuff for Reptile, and then yeah, if you wanna get some cool combos going, you can use Scorpion, and then you can get some nice extensions there. In the corner, he does have a couple other options when it comes to combos. 31%. So he does have the option to combo off of the 114 in the corner. If you have a Scorpion here, you can still get extensions as well in the corner as well. But that's generally what you're going to do. If you're in the corner and you're doing the force ball stuff, you just got to take a step back after. And then you can still kind of do the same type of combo that you would normally go for with him. Alright, there you guys have it. That is our Reptile character and combo guide. Let me know in the comments below if it helped you, if it gave you any ideas of what you want to do with Reptile out here. I will be posting some Reptile ranked and high level sets. If there's other characters you guys want me to do this type of thing with, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll just use them. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. By the way, if you're new, we are on the road to 100,000 subs and we are almost there. Thanks for checking out the video and I hope to see you guys in the next one.